All right, so now we've just finished showing you the technique of how to actually verify instruments. We're actually going to do it now. So we have the technique down. We know exactly what to do. So let's actually do it. So first thing that you're going to do is make sure that the camera is connected. So in this scenario, I'm going to walk around to the camera over here, and we check to make sure it's connected. So the cable is connected here to the back. Again, red dot up to the camera symbol there. You connect it. I usually like to wait until we're ready to actually verify instruments before I connect the camera, because there's a lot of foot traffic early on in the case, and I don't want anyone to trip over cables or get in the way until we're actually ready to use this. And then at any point, once we verify the instruments, we can disconnect that cable so that people still have free reign to kind of go in and out. And then when necessary, we can reconnect it so that the camera needs to see whatever it needs to see. So also when you connect the camera, you'll hear a series of beeps that'll go off. It'll beep. Sometimes you hear it, sometimes you don't, because there's a lot of noise in the OR room, but it's more of a technical thing if you're really trying to make sure the camera is on and is working properly. But usually you don't have to worry about it. Just kind of connect it, knowing that it's going to make 2 series of beeps to let you know it's active. So now at this point, we're going to have Jasmine go ahead and take those techniques that we talked about earlier and actually verify instruments. So what we're going to do first is I'm going to aim this camera. So whoever the circulator is or the Globus rep that's in the room, they're going to aim it towards the back table where Jasmine is at. And so if you look on the monitor, you can see the 2 colors there. So she has one is kind of a lime color and one is purple. If you look there, the lime is for the tap, the purple is for the chicken foot. So we know the camera sees both instruments. Now she's going to go ahead and stack them like we talked about earlier. So she stacks it. We get that audible green chime there, and we look over to the monitor. We see that it has a green check mark. That means it's good. So now Jasmine can put the chicken foot down, pick up a different instrument, put it again on top. The top instrument is the one that's getting verified. Camera sees it. She holds it. Great technique. It verifies it. Then she can flip flop. So now she'll take the tap and put it on top. Camera sees it. And again, we verify. So Jasmine made this look really, really easy, because it is easy. Sometimes you will get a red circle where it doesn't verify. And usually it's about technique, holding it nice and perpendicular, which we talked about earlier, checking your spheres, making sure they're snapped on correctly, there's no blood or saline on there. So the basic troubleshooting tips usually work. If not, then that's when you'll get more direction from the Globus team to kind of help you figure that out. So now that we have our instruments verified, we still need to verify the end effector, because the end effector is essentially an instrument as well. So we have to verify the end effector. So I'm going to have Jasmine walk around, and she's going to place this end effector on over the top of the drape. So she pulls the drape back a little bit, makes that connection, and she closes the clasp, and blue light comes on, and now we know that the end effector is attached. So now the circulator or rep will now turn his camera so it can see the end effector. We know it sees the end effector because we look at our screen, there's a red dot there on that screen. And now what Jasmine will go ahead and do is take an instrument, and we're going to drop it through that cylinder, push it straight down. And now we look at the screen, we see that gives us the green check mark, and that lets us know that the end effector is now verified. So now we can take that out. And now, essentially what I would have Jasmine do, if this is a real case, I would have her disconnect the end effector, and she would take that to the back table as well, because we don't want to take the risk of someone contaminating our end effector. And so that's the process of verifying instruments, draping the robot, and getting it prepped and ready to start our case. So we'll take a break here, and we'll fast forward and get into when we're actually getting ready to bring the robot in to actually help us place the screws.